Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another special session with the older man. Today, I have a special guest with me, my dear friend, Noha.
Hi, everybody. So nice to be here on Ask an Older Man podcast. It's my first time, and I hope I'll be coming again and again.
We'll see how this works out, because it's you guys that will decide.
Be nice.
Yeah. She's nice. She's not as red pill as we would like her to be, but this is going to make for an interesting conversation because I'm trying to bring more ladies on the show and sort of try to get more of the women involved with this, right?
Yeah, it's nice to have a contrasting view for the guys and maybe for some of the ladies watching as well.
There we go. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am here living in Dubai, like you, Paul. I've been here 10 years. I grew up in New Zealand, but I'm originally Arab. And I'm a single mom. I work in corporate. I've been in corporate for the last 20 years. I've got a great job in like a quarter fun industry. I work in TV. Right. And I do stand-up comedy.
Wow.
Just for fun. Yeah.
Are we going to have to put a link to some of your stand-up?
I'm not sure, but maybe.
Come on. You're going to hit the big times now, baby.
You got to wait for the Netflix special.
I like that. All right, guys, listen, subscribe if you haven't already, please. This one, we're going to be focusing on the ladies. I did this relationship, what do you call it? Flowchart. The older man's partner decision tree. Here we go. I'll flash it on the screen. So we're going to go through this and sort of look at how women should make a decision when it comes to finding a male partner.
I like it. Let's dig in.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So listen, join the membership system if you haven't done that already. And of course, if you want to book a chat with me, please do so on askanolderman.com. So, my friend, let's do this because we don't want to keep the people waiting. I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that would like to know more about how to actually find a good man. So, shall we?
Yes.
All right. Now, it starts with, do I want a long-term relationship? And it's either a yes or no question. You know, usually when we have these chats with ladies, it's always this, well, if he does this, it's no, let's just keep it yes or no. Let's keep it simple. That's the way I want this to be approached.
I love the fact that throughout the whole thing, it's a yes or no.
Okay.
It's very decisive and it takes you through step by step.
Awesome.
So, I'm just going to say off the bat, the straightaway insult is not nice, Paul.
What insult?
Nice,
no worries?
No worries. Have fun on Tinder until you are no longer attractive to the men you want to sleep with.
But
that's a little harsh, Paul. I'm going to say it because, frankly, if a woman's opening this chart to get the advice, she's already made that decision, right? She already knows she wants a long-term relationship. You don't need to kick a woman while she's down.
That's not kicking. There's a lot of women that would love to just...
There's no need for this bit.
All right. Okay, let's eliminate the no part then. Okay, guys,
because we're all here for that
positive stuff, right?
Yeah,
all right.
We're all
okay,
here
cool.
to get the good stuff.
All right. So let's say she says yes. First thing I put: have you worked on understanding your own values, strengths, and weaknesses?
I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
What do you think those are, though? What should be those strengths and weaknesses? What, in your opinion, what do you think that would be?
I think it comes with experience and age, but for younger women, it is important to kind of sit down, perhaps with a mentor, perhaps
male or female,
male or female,
okay.
A parent figure, perhaps someone who knows you well or has enough experience and expertise to give you critical advice, because as a human being, we often don't see our own flaws. So it is important to understand what's important to you, as in what values you hold dear. What are your strengths? That's really critical. And often for women, we downplay our strengths. So actually to hear it from a mentor or a positive figure in your life is beneficial.
Okay.
And also to understand your weaknesses, because a lot of us are super blind to that.
All right. I'm going to add to that. You tell me if you agree or disagree. The problem that we have in today's society is there are so many single moms, and a lot of girls don't see a father figure growing up. Unfortunate. And so if a woman has no idea what a man wants, for example, how can she work on any strengths that would help her to be an asset to a man when she gets married? You see what I'm talking about? Like, for example, I have two daughters. I make sure that they understand what is important to a man. I make sure that they know how to cook, and I make sure they know how to clean. Yes, the man, I cook and clean for my wife as well, but she does the lion's share of it because I'm also outside cleaning the cars and doing the garden and doing all the other stuff that she don't do, period, right? So there are certain universal things that men do and women do. Now, I don't want to get too hung up on it, but cooking and cleaning isn't the big thing anymore for society because that's pretty easy to do now. We got Roomba cleaners and we got, you got all these automatic things. You just throw clothes in the washing machine and the bloody thing comes out the other end.
And we live in quite a service society, especially here. I know most of your audience is international, but over here we're a bit spoiled.
Yeah.
We've got cleaners and maids and delivery that gets you fed.
Exactly. But we want to talk to the average people, which basically means that, they got to know how to do this as women. Because regardless, even though my wife, we had our maid for 16 years. Now because the kids are older, they don't need a nanny picking up around them. I make sure that they know my girls know how to do these things so that they don't feel useless when they go out into the world for themselves. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, but I also agree that a man should also know how to cook and clean.
Yeah, but
because
we're talking
he needs
about
to be able to look after himself as well until he finds himself in a good relationship where he is able to support.
Absolutely, 100%. But we want to focus on the woman. Okay, so let's not harp on too much on one thing. So from there we go down. If you have accomplished this one task, have you worked on yourself? Then if the answer is yes, do you have a clear, what is that word? Realistic criteria for what you want in a partner? The values, goals, and lifestyles, etc.
Yeah, it's super important.
Yes, most women don't think about it. They go for the first guy they get the feels with.
Yeah, this kind of chemistry question, the vibes, I don't think it should be dismissed completely.
Of course not.
It's important to find
someone. We all need to have a little bit of it. But settling for someone who's clearly outside of what you value or the systems that you want to live by, it's not probably the right move. Right.
Yeah.
Most women are looking for a man that could protect and provide for them. Most women are looking for the top guys.
Again, I don't like to use super general terms, especially in today's society, Paul, like protect and provide. I live in a pretty secure society. I have a dog. I don't need a man to protect me.
Right.
But
I see what you
provide,
mean. But
again,
who's doing that protection in the police force? Men, right? But in other words, we live in a safe society.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying. Unfortunately, we have created a society where women feel that, okay, I don't need a man for these things because group of men are doing that job for me. So I get what you're saying. It's not something that we haven't overlooked, right? But if you're with a man in a house at night and you hear a bump downstairs, the police ain't gonna come for you in the next 10 seconds. And that man have to go downstairs and check it out. Is it him or you?
My dog's got.
Dog.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
What I hear is you are dismissing the importance of a man.
I just don't think that those are the core things I look for. But again, it's different for different people around the world.
Right. So you feel that
I just don't like to paint everyone with one brush.
Right. Of course. Right. Listen, we got to be. We've had this discussion, but we have to speak in general terms because the majority of women cannot maintain herself completely without a society and without a man in her life. It's next to impossible. That's a whole other discussion, and I did paint a very wide brush there, okay? But we don't have a society that is in the larger scope of things that can support that women are all sustainable. We just don't. Unfortunately, we don't. We've been westernized to the point where it's comfortable for women, but in the big scope of things,
like what?
Number one, the maintenance of a woman is much higher than the maintenance of a man. Women demand much more comfort and protection than a man. For example, I can go and live down in freaking one of the worst areas of Dubai right now and walk around at any time of the night because I'm a man. You might, or you will not take that chance because you are more vulnerable as a woman. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I'm perfectly comfortable walking down
in Dubai,
any street in Dubai.
Okay, all right. So, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
But let's say New York City.
Exactly,
okay.
right.
Right.
Or anywhere
I'm with
else.
you.
Even though I will probably get mugged, but the chances of you getting mugged and assaulted, raped, we don't use the word, etc., is much higher than that happening to me. Your vulnerability is much more exposed. And number two, you spend more to maintain your lifestyle and life than I would, right?
Yes.
Between feminine products, protection of the home, you need to get a dog, you need to maintain the dog in order for you to be safe. I don't need a dog. You would have to spend more money on security systems, et cetera, et cetera. Because you spend more money, then you would have to have a job that pays you substantially more than me if you want to actually get ahead, in a world that's more male-dominant. So these are all the things that most women don't think about, but these are the facts, right? A man can live in a bloody apartment with a lawn chair and a flat screen TV and bears in the fridge. Women need the cushions and the couch and the soft bed and all. But you get my point, right?
100%.
Right. So that's more expensive.
Men and women need each other, though, right? To live
absolutely.
a comfortable life. That's the point, I think. In today's society, in most places around the world, you do need support.
Yes. So if they went no on that question, I would recommend spend time on self-reflection and personal development, focusing on understanding your values and goals. In other words, make sure you understand how you can assess who you want in your life and what you can contribute to that person.
Can I ask you to give a bit more examples or something specific about certain values and goals for women?
Okay. So we live in what you call a gynocentric society. Everything is geared towards women's happiness and pleasure. But women in this modern society rarely look at what a man wants in a woman. And something that I think you kind of disagreed with. Women are responsible for sex. Men are responsible for relationships. In other words, unless you're willing to get down on your knees and ask a man to marry you and commit to you and commit his resources to you, I have to do that. Correct? Or you feel that?
I think that actually nowadays, to be honest, Paul, it ends up being the woman that has to push to get the marriage out the way in the end, right?
Yeah, but you see, no,
it's the way it's working now.
You
will
you
get
not
yourself
respect
into a relationship. That's the reality of it, though. You have this girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, and then the woman will just be waiting and then hinting and then insisting, let's get married. Right. So it doesn't come
exactly
so quickly.
So in other words,
nowadays.
you're basically making my point. My point is that you're waiting and hinting to him to make the decision. He makes the decision, not you.
True.
Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. So you have to look at, okay, well, what do I have to be? Who do I have to become? Who do I have to portray to this man? Depends on how you look at it. Whatever word you want to look. Become, portray, to be.
Can we open that again, the value chart?
Yeah.
So,
in order for that man to say yes to me. Get my point?
What you've stated here is focus on understanding your values and goals.
Yes.
That's not the same.
I know. I think we kind of
understanding.
We kind of sidetrack. I think I jumped ahead a bit more there.
Okay.
But you have to understand yourself.
That's what I want to
this here.
Yeah, that's what I want to get a bit of clarity from you on. Is what are the kind of values and goals you think women should have for themselves?
Okay. You have to secure your virtue, your body. You have to take care of yourself physically, mental, because from there it goes down here. See that arrow here? Because this is how you do it. Every man man needs wants a woman.
Shall we tell the audience?
Yeah, sure.
So it's saying fitness, health, gym, femininity courses, mental therapy, mentorship from others in healthy marriages.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Pretty much covers.
Not sure about femininity courses, but we can carry on.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Let's argue that point. Who should be more feminine, the male or the female?
I think sexuality is on a spectrum, and we're born.
God.
It's actually science, Paul. It's science. We're born with varying degrees of femininity and masculinity.
Of course, yeah. I
masculine
understand.
men and not so masculine men.
Right.
You have masculine women or very
Let's
feminine
look
women.
let's
How
talk
we
in
change
general.
that to a core is a little difficult.
All right, let's look at it in general. You want a masculine man or a feminine man?
Again, it's
Me personally. Yeah.
I like masculine men.
Okay, and what percentage of women you think would want a masculine man?
The majority, yeah.
That's all. I'm talking to the majority. Majority of the women want a masculine man. Majority of men want a feminine woman. This is where we have the biggest problem of why relationships are not coming together, because women have been told this stuff, and you drank the Kool-Aid, because a lot of women have become the men that they want.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And that's masculine, and most men are saying, I don't want that.
Yeah, but I don't know about, turning the clock back. We are where we are.
Well, the problem is, let's look.
I just don't think like a course is necessary, is what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm saying that most women have femininity within them. They just need to touch into them.
But how do you get there? In other words, if you didn't grow up with a father figure, and you have a mother who's masculine because she has to do everything. She's trying to do everything. She could not stay in her feminine state. Then you have seen a masculine woman growing up. You've seen a woman who's doing the masculine stuff. This is what you're seeing. You have no idea how to be feminine. And then you're told by a society that you need to go out and you have to work and you have to get the bag and you have to be the bad bee and you have to be. All of these are masculine traits. I think we need to define what femininity is. Mm-hmm. Go on.
The point that we were talking about here is going to seek femininity courses.
Of course.
That I don't quite understand.
Okay, so if you don't know how to play football, I'm just giving a hypothetical, you would go out and get coaching for that, right? If you didn't know how to use an Excel spreadsheet, if you didn't know how to use camera, you would go and take a course in order for you to learn how to do it. Then you become a photographer. Femininity course or femininity coach will help you to show you how you can retain or regain your femininity.
I guess that is an option. I guess that is an option.
That's all I'm saying. Because I think femininity coaches are huge business right now. There's a lot
I understand,
of women.
but I think femininity is
Something
any
should be
woman.
natural?
Exactly. Yeah. Any woman can tap into it, but perhaps with the right guidance, some women need it more.
Yes. All right. So let's go on from there. So if she has a clear, realistic criteria for what she wants in a partner, values and goals, and it's a yes, then the next question you should ask yourself, are you aware of what most men are looking for in a long-term partner and what you can contribute to the relationship? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but again, it's a bit of an open-ended one because it doesn't state what it is, right?
No,
I can be aware, but I could be wrong in my awareness.
Because if the answer is no, then research the dating market, understand common preferences, talk to other men who don't want to sleep with you.
Okay.
Aha. But you understand what I said? Or do you understand why I put men who don't want to sleep with you? Yes or no? Yes or no? You kind of figured out.
Yes, but it's kind of the same as getting mentorship or getting advice from, either a male or a female or a couple that is trusted in your life. And by trusted in your life, i.e. doesn't want to sleep with you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. But it's very important that you talk to other men, not a woman. Because a woman can't tell you what a man wants. A man will tell you what he wants. But a man that wants to sleep with you, he will lie to you in order to get close to you.
Truth.
A man who doesn't have that interest in you, then he will say to you, listen, this is X, Y, and Z. This is what you got to do. Cool? All right. So if that's a yes, if you have fulfilled that part, then you need strategic positioning.
Are you positioning yourself in environments where quality men are likely to be found?
Yes.
So it's a yes or no. And we've got no which has some really good advice, which is start attending social gatherings, professional events, or hobby groups where compatible men are likely to be.
Yes.
I have, obviously I love this suggestion and it's great advice,
Right.
but what we're missing here, Paul,
Yes.
and I wanted to ask you about it, is you've not kind of mentioned the apps, the dating apps. What's your view there?
Yeah, I mean, dating apps are some of the worst ways to. To me, it's a bigger crapshoot with dating apps.
I'm not disagreeing with you in regards to putting yourself in the proper social gatherings and finding yourself within hobby groups or activities that you enjoy.
Right.
Because I think it's critical to find a partner who enjoys the same hobbies and activities that you do. Okay, so you're positioning yourself in the right environments where you're going to find a man who has similar interests.
All right.
Which
Here's
is
why
great.
I didn't put apps there. Here's my explanation. You can tell me if I'm wrong, right? Dating apps, most women only swipe on the top 5 to 10% of men because the dating apps don't put a lot of criteria that make men look attractive. Most women don't find 90% of men attractive.
There's so many apps nowadays.
I get it. But we're going into very specific
The
ones.
thing is, Paul, nowadays, most couples meet off the apps.
I know,
so it
but
can't
not
be disregarded altogether. Do you know what
absolutely.
I mean? I think
I
there's a
could
right
have
way.
put it. I should have put it in there as well. But
There is a right way to approach dating online, which can be a separate conversation.
I've
It's
done
a big
videos.
story.
I've done videos on this before, where a lot of apps now are failing, and where specialized clubs now are running clubs, rowing clubs, badminton clubs, all of these different type of ways that we can get couples together with similar interests are popping up all over the place. The biggest ones now are running clubs and cycling clubs. This is what is becoming much more popular because too many failures have occurred on dating apps. And 90% of men know that they're not getting success on dating apps. Dating apps are primarily for the top 10% of men, and they use them like Deliveroo.
I think we can do another session, if you want me
Yeah,
back,
sure.
about dating apps.
All right,
and
fair enough.
advice for men and women on how to
use it.
use dating apps.
Okay, fair enough.
Because if you've established what are your values, if you know what you're looking for,
Right.
the biggest pool of daters are on the apps.
I get it, but most women don't
And
look
most
for those
relationships nowadays, Paul, are coming off apps. They're not coming off anywhere else. And the other flip side to it is out in society now, men no longer pursue women in real life because of the apps. So then men nowadays don't come up and approach women as often as they used to because they've got an app with 1 million women already on it.
I will send you the data on the success rate of men on dating apps and women. Problem that you don't see is that, have you ever heard of this website called, or this Facebook page called, Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The reason why these have evolved is because women all over major cities realize that they are dating the same bloody guy.
Yeah.
And these guys are just rotating these women on these apps. If a guy is in the top 20% of males, right? He knows that he has options. It's like a buffet for him. He's not interested in settling down with one woman on a dating app. Very, very, very rare. The only ones that you hear about are the success stories. It's like, oh, you know this guy that won this lottery? But no one talks about the.
Nonetheless,
no one talks about the
I'm with
other.
you, and I totally agree. But
millions that
nonetheless, most relationships now come off dating apps. That's the number one
I gotta look
way
at that data.
people. Please do.
Okay,
yeah.
I will. I
And
don't
because
know
think
for
it's
sure.
really, no, it is. I fact check.
Okay.
But we can do a separate session maybe about
Sure.
dating apps because I don't think they should be dismissed.
Right.
That's
No,
what I mean.
I
There's
should have
still
put it
value.
in there. I should have
Yeah,
put it
because
in
they're
there.
part of our society now. What can we do?
Okay. I'll make sure I stick that in there because you're right that it is a part of our society. Okay. So after strategic positioning, if it's yes, you've done that work, you're in a place, then are you committed to lowering your standards, recognizing that the market determines your value to a man? I know you're going to push back on that one.
No, I'm just going to ask, Paul, how low shall we go?
But this is the thing.
How low shall we go? Let's quantify it.
Oh,
Sorry, I studied science.
Okay.
Let's quantify it.
All right, cool.
So what factors are we looking at here? Income?
Yeah, most 99%
Income?
of women look at the man's income.
Okay, so
Right.
let's say in a generalized view, which I don't usually like, but let's
Right.
do a generalized view.
Yeah.
Women want a man who is of equal or greater value.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Very good. So if a woman has done her homework,
Right.
following your flowchart,
Yeah.
understands where she is in terms of value,
Yeah.
and would you still agree she should go for a man who is of equal or greater value, or should we go lower?
As a man, I would, if I giving a woman an advice, and I always think of my daughters, and I would not go for a man that is making less than you. I would say 50-50 is the lowest you should go.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that covers income.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't date a man who's earning less than you.
Right.
This is 100% agree with you there.
Okay.
Although
Yeah.
it's a little harsh.
I know
Yeah.
you're going to say that.
It's a little harsh on men, to be honest.
Well, I
Do
know
you know
it's-
what
I know
mean?
it's
Because
harsh
a lot
on
of
men.
women nowadays are earning real good money.
I get it.
And for me,
I get it.
like I'm gonna have to cut out 90% of y'all out there because I earn
I
very
get
good money.
that 100%.
Anyway,
but
that's
if I
money.
had said to you,
What about
man
looks?
making less than you,
What
right?
about looks? I agree with you.
Then-
I'm with
then
you.
I
I'm
would
just
be-
saying it's harsh.
Exactly. Of course it's harsh. I know, gentlemen, it's harsh, but you also have to understand that if the woman has built herself to that point and you enter in a relationship where she's making less than you better be coming with a big D. You better be coming with... You better be coming with damn good looks. You better be coming with something else that would compensate for that. You're asking.
It's a value wheel, actually.
Yeah,
You're right.
exactly.
So there is multiple factors at play.
Precisely.
Let's talk about looks.
Okay, that's so
Let's
subjective,
say-
though.
I know,
you
but
know,
let's
because
say-
most women live in a fantasy world where
Let's say
they've-
I'm a 6. Should
with
I
makeup
date
or without makeup?
with makeup? Okay. Let's say
Six,
I'm
so
a
you're
6
a
with a
5.
makeup.
So you're a 5 without makeup.
Fine.
Okay.
I'm a 5
So-
without
so
makeup.
average.
Should I then date a man who's
Average.
2 or 3?
No,
Or should-
average. Most of us
Same?
are average. Most people are average.
Yeah.
It's just that women tend to overinflate themselves because they can wear weaves, lashes, makeup, BBLs, fake titties. They can do all of this, and they think that increases their value to men, but it doesn't.
Well, the sad thing, Paul, is that society has conditioned us to use these things in order
Women
to...
have conditioned.
No,
Okay,
come on,
that's a
this
whole
is
other
commercialism. Come on,
that's
this
a
is-
whole other story.
This is sex sells. It's 101 marketing. So
That is a whole other discussion. We're gonna have that's a good subject
of
that we're gonna
course,
hit.
yeah,
on.
we can another
Okay,
session.
cool. All right, let's go down the chart. If you recognize your market value and you haven't done that, you feel that you shouldn't lower your standards, then the answer is no. I say reaffirm your standards to avoid waiting forever.
But you agree with me, just to close that loop,
Yeah.
you agree with me that if a woman is, let's say, quite attractive, let's say she's a 7,
Right?
that she shouldn't date someone who is less attractive than she is.
The problem the problem is men were never valued for their looks. I don't understand why women keep looking for men for looks. Men were not supposed to be beautiful.
We're still human. But I'm not saying the man needs to be at an attractive 7 compared to females. No,
Okay.
an attractive 7 compared to other men.
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand completely. But the point is that if he's a 7 and he makes less than you, does that make him now a good catch for you?
He's got to be a 10. See?
See what I'm saying, guys? See what I'm saying?
Can I say?
That's the problem.
You agree with me,
because
though. You agree with me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I absolutely get what you're saying because I know hypergamy. Hypergamy is a woman she's always looking for more than her, and it's part of her biology.
But it's not just that, though. It's like I find that, if let's say a 7 goes ahead and dates a man who's a 4.
Right?
Okay,
that
he's
would
probably
be-
gonna start feeling a little insecure when they go out,
The
and
only way-
everybody's looking at them, going,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is she doing
No,
with this
if,
troll?"
if a 7
Right?
is
Like,
dating a 4, right?
yeah,
He has something she wants. 7s don't give 4s freaking attention, period. I'm telling you. Tell me I'm right.
Let's
Let
say
me know,
there's
guys.
a value wheel, right?
Okay,
like
if there's
his
a
earning potential, maybe he's
there we go.
a very caring and kind man.
Women don't give a shit about that. Caring
know
and kind. In other words, if
No,
he has a
he
lot of money
provides
that's giving
her
it to you.
security. Let's
Okay.
say he provides
Financial
her
security.
not just financial. Let's say he also provide her emotional security, which can be an advantage as to why a woman who is a 7 will down date in terms of looks, because there is less chance of that man in her mind of cheating on her.
Yeah, this is a security issue. A lot of women have this feeling of insecurity, but I can tell you,
Doesn't
a 7,
Yeah.
which is where a lot of women think that they are, because even when we
No. I'm saying
I
a
get
higher
it.
than average good-looking woman. Not
Right.
every woman. Okay.
The problem with what you find is a woman rarely give men that even the chance to get to know her, who's a 4. That's a below average. Rarely. The only way that man's going to get a chance is he's flashing a shitload of cash. He has a reputation for being a sexual demon. And even then, that has to be followed up with something else, because every D gets old, every P gets old, right? You can after a while.
I'm saying if you've gone down the flowchart, right?
Yeah, I get
you
it.
understand where you are in terms of market, and
Right.
you've put yourself in the right places as well. Say
Right.
you've met this 4 at certain activities and hobbies that you enjoy. So
but
you
what would
find
that
common ground
for?
with this. So you find it's more than just looks, right? And you've got a bit of something in common with this man.
Don't tell
You've
me
spent
he's a
bit
nice
of time.
guy. Don't tell me he's a nice guy.
I'm
Because
just
women,
saying that's
women don't, don't
no,
look
no.
at that.
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not saying it's a good thing.
Okay.
I don't think a woman should be dating someone who is less attractive than her on the grand scheme of things. No, because yeah,
Why?
people look at you
Men are-
weird.
so
People
what?
look
No,
at
they
you.
don't.
Go, what the
No,
hell?
they don't. They look at
Anyway,
the man. A man is judged by the woman he's with. A man is judged by. A woman is judged by the quality of what that man can provide.
Then she's called a gold digger,
But
and then
she don't give a shit
she's-
about that.
No,
She
come
don't-
on.
she
This
don't
is-
care.
But
No,
these
she
are
don't
not
care.
healthy relationships.
She don't care
let's focus
as long as
on a
she
healthy
is,
outcome.
If she is getting what she wants, she don't care about it.